everyone, we are Geeks Not Nerds. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince.
Today's question comes from Tinakaka1985, who asks, are we sick of multiple incarnations of Batman and Spidey?
Yes.
Really?
I am, actually.
I'm not.
I'm sick of multiple incarnations of everything.
Really?
I'm tired of saying alternate universe this, future verse that, and I really don't care.
Okay, first of all, before we go there, I kind of think that, I mean, I don't know because...
Yeah, maybe he's talking about, like, film and comics.
That's kind of what I thought he was talking about. Of course, he didn't elaborate on it, but as far as... Let's just start there. As far as that goes, no. When it comes to, can there be multiple versions of Spider-Man? Can there be multiple versions of Batman? And then if we stretch that out to other things, I think for the most part, it's totally okay to have multiple versions of things, especially that have been around for a long time. You know what I mean? Like there are a multitude of different ways to do Superman. There are a multitude of different ways to do Batman. I think it would be unfair to say that especially if you like, say, both, Batman '89 and Begins, or if you like, or even, if you happen to like the '60s show, but you also like the darker stuff, the people who do, I think it would be kind of weird to say, no, I want there to be one Batman universe. Well, too late. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's already a lot, and that's not fair. To go, okay, the Nolan universe should be all there ever is, and they should never go back to anything else. No, I don't know. I think another dark reboot could be done post the Nolan verse. I think there's a lot of different. I don't know.
I'm not going to say that you can't have differing things. What I'm going to say is that I don't like it when they create something that is just trying to pander to a particular audience. And they say, this is the audience that we want to get with this kind of Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, whatever. And then they shoot for that, like the Batman. Just look at the art style. You know what they're shooting for there. And that's not an audience that you need to try to get Batman with. Use something else. I mean, even Teen Titans is trying to get that anime group in. It's Teen Titans. It's an American title. How anime can you really make it?
You know what I'm going to say.
Go ahead and say it.
Brave and the Bold.
Well, here's the deal with Brave and the Bold.
Captain Logan, Vince.
The deal with Brave and the Bold is that it almost feels like it's in a similar universe to something that already existed.
Okay, fair enough, but that still a different incarnation than another animated series that had happened before that was good. You know what I mean? I don't think it's fair to go. They should have made 25 seasons of Batman the Animated Series.
Well, I'm not going to say that Batman the Animated Series makes Batman Brave and the Bold bad.
Okay, then what are you saying?
What I am saying is that I hate when they try to point at something and try to get a particular audience.
But what you're saying is some incarnations are bad because they're not being true enough to what the thing was supposed to be in the first place. That doesn't mean you can't have multiple other ones.
Well, I think that when they make a series, what they should sit down and try to do is create something that is in and of itself good. Batman Brave and the Bold had a particular goal.
No, that's true.
It was a crossover
Absolutely.
Series,
mm-hmm.
and they didn't care that it was necessarily 100% dramatic.
I think it's also pandering to multiple audiences. I don't think it's necessarily but what I'm saying is I think it's doing what you're saying it ought to do. I think Batman the Animated Series pandered to multiple audiences, and I think it does also.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you definitely
in
get
another way, but I mean, it's got some funny humor that only adults are going to get, but kids can watch it very easily.
And that's the reason that
the Batman,
with a Chance of Meatballs works.
Any adult likes the Batman.
Yeah, the Batman. I haven't seen much of it. I don't particularly care to watch it based on the art style.
Yeah, me neither.
And I'm a little ashamed to admit that I actually kind of enjoy Teen Titans.
I didn't watch enough of it because I saw one or two episodes and was like, nope, this is too close to anime, and I tuned it out. Yeah, I'm bad, but that's how I was.
Yeah, some of it's okay though, and so do I care if there are multiple versions within a particular medium? Not necessarily.
Okay.
Do I care that there are multiple mediums that use a particular mental property? No.
Okay.
What I hate is when we have multiple versions of things that are specifically made to get money.
Okay.
And I want something that is not necessarily artistic, but something that is meant to be a story, something that is good, something that can be told, and we can say, okay, look at this. These people have their heads screwed on straight.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, now, you like Ultimate though, right?
I do. And I'm
just saying, original Ultimate, like when it started, because after what you just said, I would assume that you wouldn't like multiple continuities within comic books.
Yeah, and there's the thing, is I don't care to necessarily... Okay, I'm going to argue against myself for a moment.
Ready, go.
And I like the Ultimate Universe. I like the future universe that Marvel 2 is.
Do you like 2099?
No.
I personally, I actually like 2099 over Marvel 2, but that's just me. And
I just think they ran out of ideas.
I'm going to so get lynched for that, but I didn't read enough Marvel 2, to be honest with you. I read a little bit of Spider-Girl and didn't really like it, so...
So, yeah. But the reason I latched onto those things is because the mainline universe I stopped caring about.
Oh, that
so
makes
that's
sense.
an entirely different deal.
Different reason, yeah, fair enough.
But, so I can accept a different universe. And, even on that same note, Elseworlds are still interesting.
And I love Elseworlds a lot, and I love What Ifs a lot. Yeah. I don't know, I think multiple... Here's the deal. I'm a little sick of the word reboot, and we talk about this a lot, but I think that reboot has almost become a bad word because it almost... To reboot something, by definition, seems to me like it would mean paving it over like the thing before it didn't exist. Whereas, if we reboot Batman again, just an example, I'm just saying this because we were talking about it. If we were to reboot Batman again post-Nolan's verse, that doesn't mean that we're rebooting it as in we're paving it over like it never happened. It means that we finished that continuity and we're on to the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not everything has to be continuous within itself when you're talking about multiple continuities. And
that's one of the beauties of comics, is that you can have a comic book that is outside the mainline continuity.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a mainline continuity. Say you have Batman such and such and Batman so what. And,
I really preferred so what, actually.
I thought such and such had better dialogue.
It was a little bit, but so what was, honestly, the colors were much more vibrant in that series.
I knew you'd say that, and I completely disagree. But you have these two things, and say they're radically different. One's lighthearted, and one's almost a horror story. Say it was drawn by Joe Kelly, I think that's that guy's name.
See, that's what I didn't like about So What. So,
and you have these two radically different series. They both have equal right to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Say they were both written with integrity, and they both tried to make something that was fun to read or interesting to read.
Absolutely.
And I think that movies should be allowed to do this, but people have the idea in their mind that they cannot have more than one continuity at the movies.
Yeah, that's right. It was certainly not at the same time.
And that's...
Although
it has to be a sequel.
Although I would almost agree with that you shouldn't necessarily have like multiple Supermans or multiple Batmans running at the same time, but...
Well, not at the exact same time. But
yeah.
Like, say, a year later you make a film, and you're like, well, this one's outside of this.
Let me ask you this. If you knew, because I've talked about this with some people, if you knew that Batman 3 was about to come out, and then you found out that like, secretively, they decided they were going to put out, like a Batman Year 1 just before that was in a different continuity, would that bug the living crap out of you?
It kind of would, considering Batman Begins is like a Batman Year 1.
But I'm just saying, if they were going to like adapt some other thing and then make that a different universe before that came out, that would bother me.
Yeah, maybe. Well, here's the deal. One of the reasons I love animated movies is because they have free range to do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said something I'm not supposed to say. But they have the free range.
You're not fired.
They can make the death of Superman and then make Superman Returns. Or
Sure.
rather, the other way around.
Right.
Because we know that those aren't in the same concept.
Right, sure.
They can have the Superman animated series, and we can know that Public Enemies had nothing to do with the Superman animated series.
Yeah, I think also part of the reason they do that is business sense. They know there's less risk involved with animated films than there is with live action films, and so they're not worried about it.
Which, on that same note, they'll put out drivel, and they won't think about it being good. Like this whole PG-13 thing, stop it, would you? DC, God.
Yeah. Well, hey, we are totally all out of time, but I think where we're kind of coming down on this is we're not necessarily sick of different incarnations of Batman and Spider-Man or in other things. We just want them to be good.
Different for the sake of different is not good.
Yeah, and I do feel like there's some of that going on right now. Well, what do you think? Leave us a comment. Let us know in the comments below, and be all commenty. And if you have something you'd like us to talk about later on, leave that in the comments below as well. I'm Captain Logan.
And I am Vince.
And thanks very much for watching Geeks Not Nerds.
Post-it note under my chair.
Oh man, that was a way better idea. Why didn't we do that? Crap.
So you just made fun of Tennecocken or whatever that guy's name is.